Okay, it's official. Kevin Lee has signed with Eagle FC, which is Khabib's promotion. Now, it's a bit of a weird one because for years, Kevin Lee was the one that's saying that he saw holes in Khabib's game and he was the one that was going to beat Khabib. He kind of became a bit of a meme out of like, because he kept saying he sees holes in his game. That became a bit of a meme. But he just signed with Eagle FC, and this is because he was released from the UFC about 2 weeks ago after being suspended for the use of Adderall around 2 weeks before that. So before I go into sort of how this happened and why this happened, I just want to rewind to give everyone a bit of a flavor of Kevin Lee's career, because I feel that the UFC have made a big mistake by letting him go. So between April 2016 and June 2017, Kevin Lee went on a 5-fight win streak. So he got a decision over Escudero. He got a TKO over Jake Matthews, rear naked choke against Magomov. I don't know how to spell his second name, but one of the Dagestani guys who we know always good. Rear naked choke over Trinaldo. That was a great fight, by the way. That was in Brazil, beating Trinaldo in his hometown. Rear naked choke again. So he was on a bit of a Charles Oliveira vibe with his rear naked choke wins, and then he got a rear naked choke win over Chiesa. However, that was controversial because Michael Chiesa, he never actually tapped. It was the referee thought he went out, so he stopped it, and then Kevin Lee was like, "What? I didn't tap." So it's a bit of a controversial one. Anyway, then after that 5-fight win streak, he then met the boogeyman, Tony Ferguson. And to be fair to Lee, he had Tony almost done in the first round. He got into full mount and was laying down a lot of ground and pound in full mount. Tony couldn't get out. Luckily, the round finished, and then Tony sort of got back into it. Kevin Lee got tired. Tony almost got the armbar, but then eventually got the triangle choke in the third round. But that was because Kevin Lee got tired. And this is kind of like a sort of trend that I see when I watch Kevin Lee fight. It does seem to get tired in the later rounds, maybe because of the amount of muscle mass he carries, but also because of the weight he cuts especially when he fights at lightweight. Also in that fight, he did have a staph infection, so that could have been why he got tired. But that was his big chance. But unfortunately, Tony survived the onslaught. As we know, he's tough as anything. Got the job done, and this was when Tony was on the ascension before losing to Gaethje and Oliveira and all that. So after that, he fought Barbosa, and he literally did what Khabib did to Barbosa. The only thing, Barbosa threw one spinning heel kick and it made Kevin Lee do the chicken dance. That was the only moment in that fight where Kevin Lee looked, like he could be done. But other than that, he just straight took him down, ground and pound. Kevin Lee's offensive wrestling is brilliant. That's his game. That's his bread and butter all day, offensive wrestling. So then he came back, got the TKO win over Barbosa in the 5th round. But then this is when his sort of decline went. He sort of declined after this and led to his release. So after he fought Ali Quinta, lost decision on that, got submitted by Rafael dos Anjos, came back with a KO victory over Gregor Gillespie, one of the most vicious head kicks I've seen. That was on the BMF card in front of the president, in front of one of the biggest cards watched, the Nate Diaz and Masvidal card, UFC 244 in New York, Madison Square Gardens. And this was like, oh, Kevin Lee, he's back. Everyone was like, saying that he's back and he can go towards title contention. Now, at the time, he started working with Faraz Zahabi in TriStar, GSP's coach. So this is when people were saying, okay, this has really helped him. This was before the Gregor Gillespie fight. So it was like he was with Extreme Couture with main coach. I think his name was Dewey Cooper or something. He's a good kickboxer, retired kickboxer working with him, and he still works his corner. He's still his coach, but I think he's also spending time with Zahabi. So after that, people thought, yeah, he's back. However, he fought Charles Oliveira, and this was sort of the rise of Charles Oliveira towards a title. Charles Oliveira was lighting him up on the feet. Kevin Lee shot Charles Oliveira with the guillotine. When he's got a guillotine locked, it's over. Kevin Lee tapped. It's obvious that he tapped, and he tried to be like, I didn't tap, and tried to carry on. But the tap was there, obviously. So that was a bit of a weird one, and people didn't really respect him for that. But yeah, I think that was probably the only fight where I've seen Kevin Lee like totally dominated. In all the rest of the other fights, he's always shown, you know, a good start, or, you know, he's never been totally dominated, but I feel like it wasn't a total domination by Oliveira, but Oliveira just in control, outstriking him, and then also getting the submission. Then after that, he fought Daniel Rodriguez at welterweight, and he just looked small. Rodriguez looked massive, and he lost the decision to him. He just struggled with the power of Rodriguez and the reach of Rodriguez. He just looked small in there, and that's weird to see because at lightweight he looked so big. But yeah, at welterweight, he's just a little bit too small. Now, the reason that he got suspended was because he got diagnosed with ADHD. So one of the drugs that you can use to help people with ADHD is Adderall. Now he needed to apply, I think it's called something therapeutic use of something, and he got lazy with that and didn't apply for it. So when he got tested positive for Adderall, he got a 6 month suspension, which is a shame really, because he does have ADHD diagnosed and he's allowed to take it. He just needs to apply for the license. And yeah, I think he just said his ego got the better of him and just thought like, it's fine, it'll be fine. Which is a shame because he got suspended for 6 months. Now, personally, I think that's too harsh because it's not really a performance enhancing drug. It can help with the focus. I suppose it can help with the focus in the fight, but obviously if you've got ADHD, it's just bringing you up to a normal level of focus. And he obviously struggles to focus, and he mentioned in areas interview that just like everyday things like paying bills and stuff like that, he struggles to like keep track of everything. So he does definitely need it, and it's not really that much. It's not really a performance enhancing drug. It just sort of brings you up to a normal level, like a normal level of focus, which a regular person would have. So that was a shame. So coming off 4 losses in the past 5 fights, that UFC let him go. Now, there is a theory that his management team is CAA, and they also manage Ngannou, and there was been beefs about pay with Ngannou in the UFC and stuff like that. So Ariel put out a theory that sort of Kevin Lee, they couldn't get rid of Ngannou because he's heavyweight champion of the world, but they could just get rid of Kevin Lee, maybe as a bit of a statement to the management company. And he said that they didn't even give him a phone call. Dana, Lorenzo, any of these guys didn't actually phone him to tell him that he's been cut. He found out by email from the assistant. And none of these guys, they didn't have the respect just to say, thanks for what you've done in the UFC. But yeah, we got to let you go basically. Now, being a free agent at this time is a blessing in disguise, because I think Kevin Lee can definitely make a lot more money outside of the UFC. I thought it would have gone to Triller, because seeing someone like Mike Perry won 250,000 from his Triller fight, where he's nowhere near getting that in the UFC. Triller just throwing money at people. However, he signed with Khabib's promotion, Eagle FC, so they must have offered him more than 250,000. Well, more. I would say more than that per fight, because he was saying that the offers that he's been getting, not specifically from Eagle FC, he'll become a millionaire in a year. And let's say the fighter has 3 fights in a year each, so that's around 330,000 per fight. And the interesting thing is, Khabib's promotion is actually paying him fully in Bitcoin, and he's happy to take that. So maybe, I don't know, maybe it's like 300,000 per fight in Bitcoin, and I feel like Kevin Lee would just go with the highest offer. Another huge thing that's going to benefit him is Eagle FC starting a 165-pound division. Now, I feel like it was too hard for Kevin Lee to get down to lightweight, and at welterweight, maybe they were a little bit too big for him. So 165-pound, which he says he's the best 165-pound fighter on the earth. Great to have confidence. I don't know if he is, but it's just going to help him. So he doesn't have to. That's probably his natural fighting weight, because Khabib said that talking to fighters over the years, there's too much difference between 155 and 117. And there's a lot of fighters that are too big for 155, but really not actually big enough for the welterweights, and I think that's where Kevin Lee fits into it. So it's going to be interesting to see who they're ours to get for that 165 pound division. So I think, yeah, Kevin Lee's well looked after. He's had a tough like few years really. He's head coach at Extreme Couture where he trained, committed suicide. That was after the Tony fight, so he had that to deal with. And then also, I think in 2020, he actually blew out both his ACLs when he was training. So like one he's training with his brother, and then 3 months after he tripped, and both knees were gone. So he was actually saying in Awa's interview, he actually bought Bitcoin back in the day, and that's what kept him going through the hard times when he wasn't able to fight and earn money. So yeah, just thought I'd update you on the Kevin Lee situation and give you a bit of background as to why he got dropped, why he got suspended, and possible reasons why he signed with Eagle FC. But yeah, wish Kevin Lee the best. And after his suspension, I think he's going to put on some great fights. He's always like been an exciting fighter. He's never ducked anyone. Like the people that he's fought, he hasn't done like kind of Sean O'Malley by ducking people or like not fighting people. If you look at the list of people he's fought, the top guys: Tony Ferguson, Ali Quinta, Dos Anjos, Oliveira, Gillespie when he was undefeated, Chiesa. He's fought all these top guys, and he comes to fight. Great offensive wrestling. I think he's still said he's going to be working with Zahabi. So yeah, sky's the limit. Peace.